Hey everybody, welcome back. James here again with you, and today I got a very interesting video that's a topic that a lot of people try to compare, so make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do appreciate every one of you that have, so let's get into today's video, everybody. In today's video, I want to compare what many people have tried to compare since probably the beginning of firearms and air guns. You hear people all the time saying that, oh, this air gun is as powerful as a 22. Well, in some cases maybe, but in a lot of cases, most of the time they're not of the same caliber. So, for instance, in this video, I am using 22 caliber, which is a small bore. 22 caliber air gun and 22 caliber rimfire. There's a huge difference, and I'm going to show you guys that. But needless to say, they both can be used as utilized tools for whatever scenario you need to use. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In this video, I used some high velocity 40 grain 22 LR ammunition, which is the Aguila Super Extra High Velocity, rated at 1255 feet per second. And at the muzzle, that's what the rifle in this video I'm using shoots that at, pretty close. And then also, as the pellet example, I'm using the JSB 1589. And for reference, I'm shooting both of these at 50 yards just to show you guys the foot-pounds of energy difference with the chronograph downrange to get the numbers. And some various targets just to have some fun. So let me go ahead and show you the equipment that I'm using. So I'm using for the 22 rifle in this video is my Ruger standard carbine 18.5-inch barrel, and like I mentioned, it is shooting these Aguila Super Extra high velocity at 1250 feet per second, just like they're rated on the box, out of the muzzle. But again, that really doesn't matter because we're shooting at 50 yards, so I'm going to capture that velocity downrange. Next, I have the Diana Stormrider Gen 2 shooting the 15.89 grain JSB 865 at the muzzle, but again, that does not matter because 865 feet per second with a pellet is way downrange, is going to be way lower than that because of the design. So I'm just going to show you guys some differences in power and more differences in the video. So let me go ahead and show you guys some of the targets that I shot at 50 yards with the chronograph readings of each 22 LR and the 22 caliber pellet, and that way we can get some numbers just to show you guys the differences between a pellet, a 15.89 grain pellet, and a 40 grain bullet. So now, after you've seen the targets being shot at, and you could see right off the hand the power and energy of the 22 rimfire versus the 22 pellet, I'm not going to go over the bottles because you can see the bottles just went poof. But I will cover the paper plates. Now, you can see they both were shot at on camera. There's the holes, but only one made it through, guys, and it was the pellet that did not make it out. And you can see this was a total of 160 paper plates at 50 yards, and the rimfire made it all the way through 160 plates at around 1100 feet per second, which is still over 100 foot-pounds of energy. And the 15.8 9-grain 22 caliber pellet was floating around 17 foot-pounds of energy, around 700 feet per second. So there you have it, guys. That's a big difference within itself. 160 paper plates, and the pellet didn't even make it out of it. So that's one target that I want to show you. Next up is this skillet. Old retired skillet that I thought would be a cool target. As you can see, the 22 rimfire just bored a hole right through there, guys. No questions asked. Zipped right through it like butter. Well, you can see at 50 yards that pellet did some damage though. I mean, I still wouldn't want to get hit by it. Over 17 foot-pounds of energy at this pan. And this bullet is still going over 100 foot-pounds of energy again at 50 yards. Yeah, I still wouldn't want to get hit by either one of them. And both of them, still have some energy left at 50 yards. Well, you've seen the energy portion of downrange, and again, in retrospect, the 22 caliber rimfire and the 22 caliber air gun, in a scenario where you're not going to be shooting far distances and there's structure around you, like in a hunting situation, my opinion, the air gun would probably be the best bet. That way you don't chance it, and if you have to take a shot, you don't know what's beyond your target, air gun will be the best bet because it's going to dump most of its energy really quick due to the design of the pellet, versus the rimfire bullet, still over 100 foot-pounds of energy at 50 yards, and there's no telling what it is downrange past that mark. So safety factor, in an enclosed area, not very, open with very many structures around you, the air gun would be the safe bet. Now, another topic is the sound. So a lot of people don't know, but air guns can legally be suppressed. You can buy suppressors online in the United States and attach them to your guns. Well, the Dyna Stormrider can legally have this suppressor on here and make it ultra quiet. Whereas this Ruger 1022 has no suppressor due to the fact that we have to apply for a tax stamp in the United States and wait some odd months to get approved for it. And that's just $200 just towards the stamp itself to get the suppressor. And then we have to turn around and buy a suppressor for whatever it costs. So the sky's the limit when you want to buy a suppressor, but you always have to fork out that $200 tax stamp first, guys. So I currently don't own a firearm suppressor. And air guns, they're ultra quiet as is compared to a rimfire, even without the suppressor. But that's the thing, you can have suppressors on air guns and order the suppressors online, without any special permit or tax stamp in the United States. Now, the last thing that I want to hit on real quick is the accuracy. Both of these calibers, in my opinion, can shoot just about the same accuracy and precision downrange. Now, farther distances may vary, but at 50 yards, they both can hit whatever you're aiming at. And, if you get your guns tuned and find the right pellet and ammunition, period, they'll shoot however you want. Now, before I end the video, I do want to go over another thing, is cost. Them rifles that I used in the video particularly cost roughly the same price, around $200 give or take. That's just for the rifle itself. Now, the ammunition options, well, the sky's the limit again on ammunition. You can spend as much as you want on either one, but if you find the one the gun likes, then you can have an idea how much it's going to cost you. So, for instance, you can go buy bulk ammunition in both pellets and rimfire, and of course the bulk ammunition and the pellets are going to be a lot less. So for instance, you can get 500 pellets, bulk for less than $10. 22 rimfire, on the other hand, depending on if you can find it, it'd be over $20, around $25 to $30 at the time of this video. Now, again, that's bulk ammunition. Then you can get specialized in the certain brands and types of ammo that you need for your scenarios. But just to give that out there, that roughly the ammunition is, about twice, 2 times, 2.5 times as much, in a bulk scenario, bulk ammunitions. But then, you get specialized, again, it's going to cost more. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was definitely fun to make, and as you can see, a air rifle in the same caliber is not going to be comparable in the foot-pounds of energy as a rimfire rifle, but they are both still very powerful and still able to take down small game, paper targets, whatever your desire is, or even just plinking. That's the thing. But again, it all comes down to the safety factor, how much you want to pay for ammunition, all kinds of little, sub-genres of the topic itself. Whether you want a real quiet gun versus a loud gun if you're out in the open, it just depends. There's so many factors, but it comes down to the energy, guys, as the main, to me, the safety factor. I really don't care whether one's louder than the other. I would just rather make a clean shot, for one, making sure they're both accurate. Number two, where's that projectile going to go? I feel more safe in a tighter environment, closer environment with structure with an air gun versus rimfire. And I have to be very careful on my shots. Some shots I can take because I know where structure's at, and some shots I can't. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching as always. We'll see you on the next one.